Let's talk here about our guy, James Harden, man. James Harden has once again found him a home in his game in Cleveland. He scored, I think, he's been doing decent in his very few games that he's played in Cleveland. But, this is, and I'm going to go over across the graphic on the screen people who cannot see. It's going over James Harden trade history here.
Okay.
He requested trade. This was from Houston in November 2020. Requested a trade from Brooklyn. That was with the KD Kyrie experiment for people who forgot that, right? It's February 2022. Requested a trade from Philly, June 23. That was when he was with Embiid. And I thought like he was actually playing pretty decent there. I think they had like a playoff collapse there like he typically does. I need to go back and see. But I feel like he had decent times there with Embiid. And then he comes to the Clippers. Play with Kawhi, right?
Yep.
And he is requested a trade from there. And now he is with Cleveland and playing with Donovan Spider Mitchell. What's interesting is when you look at who these guys played with, because this doesn't count his OKC days when he played with Westbrook and Kevin Durant, right? He's played with some pretty good players. I mean, Kawhi on one team, Embiid on one team, Durant on one team, Kyrie on one team, Durant and Kyrie on the same team, Westbrook and Durant on the same team. He's played. I feel like some people joined him in Houston too. I got to go back and look at those Houston teams, but I really feel like there's been a couple years where they tried with a couple guys there in Houston. I'm not sure if it worked out. What do you make of James' new home, Cleveland? Is it just more of the same there with the Cavs? Is this like a legitimate playoff run now? What makes this better situation for him in Cleveland than in LA?
Oh, oh my God. I don't know. Reggie, I don't know.
As a genuine fan, I don't know why he asked for that trade. I mean, especially if it was going to end the way it ended, I guess,
Yes. I mean, we know what he is. You can't rely on him on a 7-game series. And so what you're hoping, right? I'm not lying.
No, he still has a long way to go to proving his playoff chops. He's a great regular season player. We all know MVP guy.
So what you're hoping, again, the talent is there. We're never going to deny that. Hall of Famer, yes. But you're hoping you surround him with so many things where you're not relying on the 7 game of a playoff series, right? So you're hoping he gets you through 1 through whatever. You're hoping he gets you through 1 through 4, right? That you just can win a series in 4 games or 5. What?
Goodness gracious! So you saying it? So where it's game 5, 6, and 7 you're worried about?
That's right. That's where you're at with him. That's where you're at. Because we've seen his collapse in those 7-game series. That's honestly where you're at with this dude. So
what will it take to change that trajectory? Like what is it going to take to change that mentality? I feel like at this point, even him getting out of the first round is not going to do enough to undo what he's kind of known for. I feel like he would have to have a good playoff run. You know what I mean? I feel like he would have to go into the round and have a good run, at least up through the conference finals or something. And he would have to be contributing to that run all the way through to even start to change the narrative.
Absolutely. He would have to just put that dagger in somebody, right?
Right. He would have to be the final shot. He had to be on a couple games.
Yes. I mean, because I've been on our show and I predicted him to beat the Warriors in the series, but now I would never do that again because I know what he is. He's my buddy texted me. He's like, "Oh, Harden did this. Oh yeah, he did this when nothing else was mattering." And that's what he is. He put the stats up when nothing else is mattering. And
well, I will say at least for that he's gone at least to a better team with the Cavs. I think the biggest problem is this. is that you've gone to a better team, but it's a better team in a weaker conference.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe that'll be maybe that'll help to pad the perception if he does make that run with Cleveland, and you can run through the East. And he's been in the East before on a couple of these teams, but he's been out West. And right now, I think the Clippers would have been in play-in territory anyway if he had stayed out there.
Maybe play-in.
Yeah, correct. Maybe play-in territory. So at least he has a better team from that standpoint. I think a lot of people are looking at the cities, say Cleveland, LA. No way in the world. We're going to request that trade. Basketball reasons. Maybe there's something in the building he didn't like. I don't know. Maybe. Or maybe he just wants to sign a contract and the Clippers are just like, we don't know.
Yes, it came down.
You know what I mean? That could have just been that too. We don't. Clippers are like, and then he found a suitor that's willing to give him money, kind of like the Paul George. Paul George leaves, goes and finds somebody who's willing to re-up his money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Listen, I respect his talent. He's great, but it's one of those things. It's like you have to look at the clutch moments. He doesn't have it. He gets regular season. Yes, the regular season. You're gonna have the stats, the moments. Yes, and you're gonna see. Oh my God, James Harden. Yes,
Yes, man.
He's maybe all NBA player, but then you get these moments where you get the playoffs, and you're like, oh, he fades away. He cannot be there. He can get you to Game 7, but he's not your reliable person to be in that moment. So I don't know. Cleveland has other pieces. That's a good thing. So, but again, other teams that he's been on have had the same pieces. Philadelphia,
and not great results. What you're saying,
right? It's not like it's not happening.
A result-oriented business, especially look at the amount of money the man commands. So he's in a 2-year, $81.5 million contract that he signed with the Clippers in July of 25. And he's in the first year of that deal right now. Okay.
Right.
So we know as he goes into the second year, I think that this year's salary 39.2, next year would be 42.3. Now, what's interesting about this is that he's probably going to opt out in the summer, right? He's in the final year of that deal.
Yep.
This really strikes me as LA not wanting to necessarily sign that extension, or maybe him feeling that they wouldn't sign it. I'm not really sure. But it kind of deals like this with players of this age who kind of have the productivity that he has tend to reek of this. Like they'll go to a team that's at least going to give them 2 or 3 more years on their contract. So they're on a 2-year, maybe they want 2 to 3 more at that 40 or 35, 40, whatever he renegotiates it at.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Which will be interesting. He's got a $42 million, and that's an option for him. So I don't know. I think he's almost certainly opting out of that. At his age, you kidding me? If I can give me 3 of them, man. Give me 3 years. I'll take that. How old is he?
Oh,
he's not that old, right? He can play for 3 more years. Let me see James Harden age. Look at his age, man. 36. Eugene. I want nothing to do with that in Atlanta, man. I'll tell you that right now. I feel like a lightweight at his age for a team to pay a guy. He's 36. For a team to pay a guy going into his 40s, because if he gets a 3-year deal, right? Let's say you're kind of taking him into 39 right there. You're taking him right up against the door of 40 right there. It needs to be for a team that's right there, man. Like it needs to be for a team that feels like, hey, we're one player like James Harden away from a championship.
Right.
It needs to be for something like that. And maybe Cleveland feels like they're that team. Maybe they feel like James Harden is that missing piece. But I did like Darius Garland. He's kind of stayed injured a lot this season. But I did like Darius Garland. And I do think the James Harden situation can work out, but I am definitely glad he is not here in Atlanta because of the age. And we got a young team. And this is not going to fit every team.
No.
This, especially with how the NBA seems like it's going now.